But now I'm beginning to understand psychology more. If you try to walk up to some crack whore with wearing a wig because her hair is falling out and she's like got one tooth, she's going, that's why those crack whores get like that, because the pimps give them nothing but maybe a little bit of chicken and a little bit of crack, just enough, and they're like zombies, folks. They're under a spell, and if you tried to walk up to them going, if you try to walk up to them and say, let me get you to rehab, let me get you off this, the pimp is abusing you, you don't talk bad about Leroy, mother, I'm calling him, I'll jack you up. I mean, literally. I grew up in Dallas, folks. I've seen plenty of crack whores, and that's how it is. I've talked to pastors that have tried to get them off the street and help them. And that's exactly and it's the general public. They're just like, I love being scammed. I love being lied to. I love being defrauded. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so the New World Order just says, how do we make all these people prisoners? How do we suck everything? How do we make them slaves again? Say it's to save the earth? Tax air. Yeah, they'll love it. Oh, it's such a big scam. They're going to love it. And then they come out and do it and lie to you and know they're lying. And we'll tell them they can't have neighbor kids over at the bus stop. We'll tell them they can't sell watermelons on the street corner and watch the little slaves. They'll do it. And all the dramas and sitcoms and TV shows worship cops and worship military. The police have been militarized. They've been trained to kill people and break things. The military is designed to kill people and break things. This is not our military that fought in 1776 or when Mexico attacked us, went down to Mexico and kicked their butt and then came back. This is an imperial military now, working for people that want to bring this country down. And they are training the military to occupy the U.S. and now admitting it and training them. Their number one enemy is conservatives and gun owners. And now good old boys are going, I guess I'll turn my guns in because I love Petraeus. And I'm like, but the flag symbolizes the Bill of Rights. They're like, shut up. If they say it's conservative and you see the American flag right there, that means police state. That means no rights at all. Why don't you just leave America if you don't like the army deploying on the streets? Some kind of liberal commie. Oh, look at that. Yeah. All the major phone companies, all the major cable guys, all the major groups are openly announcing they're spying on you. And they openly train the plumber groups, everybody. When they're in your house without a warrant, they're spying on you. And I told the story. I'm going to take calls and get to it later. I'm going to tell it in detail. I'm about to go home Saturday morning. I'm going up the elevator. It opens on the third floor on the wrong floor, and there's Girl Scouts with police and Homeland Security, and I wasn't expecting it, so I stepped out, looked at it for about 10 seconds, and then actually started panicking, hitting the button, because it was too hard. It was like Body Snatcher. I was like, get me the hell out of here. What the hell? I'm in the Soviet Union. I mean, you know. But
before you throw away your used batteries, you need to listen to the...
Okay, I've been ranting and raving and covering a lot of news. We're going to get to Gary, Dan, Catherine, Gary, and Andrew in just a few minutes, but we've got some breaking news. Then I'm going to break down what's really happening with the military, what's really happening with the flu. Huge, big developments there. I've got a ton of news I haven't even gotten to yet. Stay with us in the third and fourth hour because I really want folks to hear about all this that's coming up. We're going to go to Gary here in just a moment. I do want to remind listeners, my new film, Fall of the Republic, can be pre-ordered right now. You get Fall of the Republic early. We're probably going to be able to ship it out a few days early from the October release date. So if you want to be the first people to get the DVD, it's shipped out in the order it is received. And I've hired some extra seasonal people so we can ship this out, boom, really fast. So get your order in for Fall of the Republic. Go read about it at Infowars.com. It is the highest budget, most powerful film I've made. The banking takeover, the carbon tax takeover, the police state tattletale spy takeover. We expose the warmongering of both parties. You want to understand who the globalists are and what their operation is. This is the film. Alan Watson and so many others. John Perkins, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. The list just goes on and on. Fall the Republic, Infowars.com or 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. You'll also be able to see it coming up October 21st in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv for all the great members of that. Okay, Josh Smith was with us at the G20, saw all the hellish stuff that happened up there with the LRADs being used on citizens, no protest allowed in the city, just like communist China. Not allowed to have neighbor kids over, not allowed to have a farmer's market. It's the new America. Cindy Sheehan was just arrested at the White House for protesting the Afghan war, not allowed to protest without a permit. They don't issue permits. Josh Smith is associate of Cindy Sheehan. Again, we met him at the G20 in Pittsburgh. And they are the true anti-war people. As Obama expands the war, the military gripes at him for not enough troops to give him left cover, to give a false choice. Josh, tell us what just happened there in D.C.
We came to the White House, Alex, with 300 to 400 people. We were just protesting directly across from Lafayette Park at the fence of the White House. We had 4 main groups with us, which were Veterans for Peace, World Can't Wait, and the March of Death group. They do a kind of a performance act.
With the coffins.
Yes, coffins, and they all lay down in the white mask. And Cindy chained herself to the fence. And they went after her first, and they took everybody off the sidewalk with the big horses and threatened to, basically run you over. And they've
in China, they would stop with the tanks. Not at G20, not here. They'll go ahead and run you over. They'll go ahead and attack you. They'll come up to women, full power with a billy club, and I've watched police over and over again just with every bit of power. Yeah! You're just like really trying to kill you. And that's like, yeah, I love the police. I love the military. They work for the foreign banks. Rape us. We love it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, Alex, and we were initially told, warned many times to get off the sidewalk. We were pushed into the streets. Then we were pushed off the streets back into Lafayette Park. Then we had our lawyers from the National Lawyer Guild come out and contest everything that they were trying to do against us. They backed off for a while, but then they rolled in buses, about 3 buses, and they're still putting people in there now. I just saw David Swanson, the writer, author. He was just arrested and put in a bus. They're arresting women. There's many priests that are in handcuffs
and
right
they
now.
said at the G22, no protest allowed. We have the police chief on video. This is the new America.
They told us we did not have a permit. We pulled out a pocket copy of the Constitution, and we told them, here's our permit right here.
I talked to a guy yesterday. The police came in his house without a warrant. And he said, hey, I have a Constitution. And the guy said, what are you, one of them truthers? So, I mean, they just flip out. Stay there for 1 minute, so we're going to come back, get some more news from you. Then I promise we're going to go to your calls and take a lot of them at 1-800-259-9231. We just reached the halfway point in transmission. All right, Cindy Sheehan dared, not allowed to protest in D.C., not allowed to protest at G20. I've been in D.C. several times the last few years. You can be 200 yards away from the Washington Monument. They walk over and say, no videotaping. And, of course, if you call the city, they then say, well, there's no permit to tape. They don't care. They've been told to let you know you are lower than dirt. You will be harassed more in D.C. than you will be in Beijing, outside the Forbidden City. This is not land of the free, home of the brave, folks. And they're letting you know you're here to pay money to offshore banks and to give your kids over to CPS and to supply kids for the military. That's it. You think you're allowed to have free association? You think you're allowed to protest? Well, we're allowed to fracture your skull with a billy club. Josh Smith finishing up with the police state you're witnessing as they're arresting peaceful protesters at Lafayette Park across the street from the Puppet House.
Yes, very much, Alex. Cindy Sheehan is arrested. I want to make it very clear that here in D.C. today and at the G20 in Pittsburgh, the only people instigating any conflict or any violence are the police.
Well, they've got a severe hatred of this country. I mean, that's what I've noticed is they revel in what they do. They enjoy it.
They are itching to attack you. They're itching to arrest you. They are fascists. They are Hitler's wet dream, Alex.
I know, and that doesn't mean all police, but whoever they're selecting for these riot teams or these police squads, these protest squads, whoever they're, or maybe it's the mass psychology, I don't know. But Rob Dew has been officially charged, by the way. They charged him, they charged him for the 24th, not the 25th, the Friday that he was at. They blocked him off at a park, wouldn't let him leave, and then arrested him. It's all on video. He wasn't even at the university the 24th. They have charged him with that. Wrong day, wrong place, and they don't care. They say, we're going to court with it, and it doesn't matter if we got the wrong day down. We don't care. I mean, they're just